This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Monday. Olympic gold medalist and national record holder in the women's 400 meters, Shawnee Miller-Wiebo, sides with Stephen Gardiner, silver medalist at the recently held World Championships, who opted not to compete in the men's 4x400 meter relay.
He said he was tired, and I could understand where he's coming from. You know, 3 rounds of the 400 isn't easy at all. It's something that's difficult. The 400, in my eyes, is the hardest event in the sport. And you know, with him, he PR'd in the second round, and then he came back in the finals and he, you know, ran a really tough race again. And so, you know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, hopefully they can see themselves around it and move on.
President of the Bahamas Association of Athletic Coaches, Sean Miller, expressed his disappointment with the position the B3 Ace has taken. He revealed for the first time the conversation on the day between he and Gardiner.
I think the B3 Ace should have taken in consideration the 43 that he had run days prior to this, and knowing Stevie Gardiner's past, because I expected big things from him, but because he had that new coach, Gary, Coach G, and but in all honesty, I still was a little bit surprised to see how far he had come, because Stevie Gardiner had a reputation of not being able to go through the rounds. And Stevie, I spoke with him, and he told me himself that he didn't expect the 300 to take, the 43 seconds to take that amount of power out of his legs. This is not like the 100 meters, whereas you can go through rounds pretty easy because it's just one little short sprint. The 400 meters, you have to be half crazy to go around the track that fast. You know, I seriously believe that something is wrong with a true quarter miler.
Our men's national softball team in the thick of the action at their CAC and Pan Am qualifier in the Dominican Republic. We get an update from Julian Gibson.
On Saturday, a long day of flying, Nassau, Orlando to Santo Domingo. Costa Rica would pay the price. After a sluggish start in Game 1 against Guatemala, Team Bahamas would crush Costa Rica. Final score 7-0.
Yeah, the first game was a little different, you know what I mean? We had the opportunities, you know, and we just didn't make the adjustment. And it seems like the more and more pitching we see, the more adjustment we'll make.
Yeah, I think, you know, be getting in late last night, you know, getting to bed late. I think it had played a little effects on the first game earlier today, which we lost 2-1. But, you know, I think we had in the bag. It should have been a victory for us. But like I said, the second game, I feel like we were much more ready to go.
And what is going to take to keep the offense clicking the rest of the tournament?
Timely hits are key. Like I said, hopefully we can do that tomorrow. And I think pitch selection plays a huge part in that, so we just got to be more selective at the plate.
I think we need to stick to small ball, you know, move the runners over, and whenever the runner's in scoring position, we just try to, you know, hit the ball in the outfield and score them. That's the main thing right now.
Now, the winning pitch against Costa Rica was Thomas Davis. He was on his game.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. When I go out there, I pitch good. I mean, once I on my game, the mound good and firm, so I'll pitch good.
Getting run support. Alcott didn't get no runs in his first game, but he got a lot of runs.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in the first game. I guess the guys had a little jitters or something, man. But he came in the second game and produced good runs.
Runner on first base, do not take your eye off of me, because I might go to the fake bunt, straight to here.
Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I am Julian Gibson.
Thank you so much, Julian. The mandatory election in the Bahamas Olympic Committee will take place in November. President Wellington Miller is tight-lipped about his position, whether or not he will be seeking the top post again. Here's what he had to say.
We'll see who are going to be nominated and who are going to run for any position. All positions will become vacant at that time. So we will be sending out notice shortly to all federation, let them know the date, the time, and the place that the election will be held, and ask them for their nomination.
The GSSA held its election earlier this afternoon. Our Jared Higgs tells us that a familiar face will be leading the association for the next 2 years.
Pharrell Davis is once again your GSSSA president. The C.H. Reeves teacher beat Trevor Grant 12 votes to 2 for the top spot.
Like the old saying, your work speaks for you. I work very hard to ensure that the association function the way it needs to function. Ensure the core sports, everyone get their dues. But it was a lot of work. But I'm up to the job.
5 other officials were elected unopposed, including First Vice President Kendall Campbell, Second Vice President Shakira Farrington, Secretary Keisha Pratt, Assistant Secretary Fiona Tucker, and Treasurer Tia Roll. Terrence King was elected Assistant Treasurer by 11 votes to 4 over Bernice Penn. Back to the president, though, Pharrell Davis has an ambitious agenda.
My goal is to get the GPA up with athletes, try to get them at least to a 2 point in order to play sports. Also on end of year with a banquet, recognize the schools and the students that have done very well in our sports. Also, I really want to get into the championship ring, get away from the trophies and get into the rings for the high schools, and also bring cheerleading back and also cross country.
With the election out of the way, GSSSA officials will turn their sights to the volleyball season, which is scheduled to start on October 2nd. Jared Higgs, ZNS Total Sports.
Thanks so much, Jared. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson.